Some people rave about launching, while others are fully obsessed with passive income. And then even other people are obsessed with in the investing side of passive income. Today we are talking about what is better, launching or passive income, and is there a yes or no response, or does it just depend on where you are right now?
Hello, and welcome to Fail to Win, a show where we love to make mistakes and learn from them so you can turn your passion into profits and live life on your own terms. I'm Amy van der Putten from FastForwardAmy, your host and coach, and I'll bring you a new episode with simple strategies every Tuesday.
I think for passive income, there's two camps. One is the side of the online business people who want to create passive income through their online business. And then there's kind of like the next level of people who want to invest the money they've made and create passive income like that. I think for starters, what is passive income? I think the actual definition of passive income is it's income that's coming in while you're doing nothing. And I think we kind of have to disclaim there that nothing is truly passive income in the beginning. After a while, it might be, but you're always going to have to put in the work. In an online business, you might be surprised at the work that actually goes into building a funnel. And on the side of, for example, let's say real estate, if you're renting out real estate, is that passive income if you're still doing the maintenance? I think the actual definition of what is passive is up to you. What I usually tell my clients in my Fast Forward Academy when they ask me about passive income, passive profits is what I tend to call it, like the funnels and stuff, is I just tell them, don't worry too much about the fact that it needs to be passive, but look at making it more passive than what you have right now. So even if you're getting started with passive income, it could be that you're currently only making money when you are working super hard and every step of every sales process falls on you. Someone emails you, you have to reply. Someone books in a call, you have to do the call, and then afterwards you have to send a follow-up email. Just start by making some pieces in your business more passive. Maybe there's an autoresponder, maybe after a call, you add a tag, people get added to a sequence, and there they have all of their information. This could just be a way to start simplifying your sales process, but that's actually not what we're going to be talking about today. Today, we are talking about what is better, launching or passive income, and is there a yes or no response, or does it just depend on where you are right now? There's 4 things we need to look at to decide if you need to focus on launching first or passive income first, or passive profits, as I like to call it. The first one is cash flow. The question is, do you want immediate cash flow right now, or are you okay with spreading out your cash flow? If you launch, you're going to get a big cash injection in right away. And for example, for me, I will work with payment plans. So a big part will come in at once, and then the rest of the sales will come in through payment plans in the upcoming months. It makes sense that if you're more focused on building a passive funnel, that you will have the cash flow longer, but more in monthly pieces. So if your priority is cash flow because you want to create a cash buffer in your business, I will go for launching first. That is actually also what I do in my business, where we have everything in funnels. If we are thinking, okay, we need more cash, we're not going to think, okay, let's build a new funnel that then gets us cash slowly. No, then we'll do a launch and turn that launch into a funnel. Which brings me to the second question you actually need to ask yourself, which is the workload. Don't get me wrong, both launching as well as building an evergreen funnel is actually work. It depends on how complicated your funnel is, how much work you want to put into it. For me, I will usually just make something live and then turn that live launch into an evergreen funnel. If I'm already building it, might as well profit from the live launch. If you want to start building evergreen from the get-go, that would mean that you need to know your audience pretty well. The advantage, apart from the cash flow, that what we just talked about, is that you can skip some of the social content if you're doing that. So for example, if I'm live launching, I will be making a lot of stories and stuff. That is some work that falls away if I'm building the passive funnel. And if you have prioritized it that it can just go a little bit slower, then you don't have to create everything in one moment, right? So not all of the emails and all the social posts have to go out. You can say like, okay, we start with a simple funnel and we get people to the funnel through one ad, and then we add something and we add something else and we add something else. Whereas with a launch, the pressure will be on it to have everything done right now already perfectly, because you have nothing to lose. You got to get your leads to the finish line immediately. Whereas in your funnels, as you're not getting in all of your leads at the same time, you can experiment for a bit longer. But again, I will just prefer to Combine it. I do think that's also why it is so difficult to prioritize building funnels, because you're always working in your business. Maybe you are doing launches, you are doing live delivery for your clients, and that's what makes it so difficult to build the funnel. So what we did a year ago, and I regret slash not regret this, is actually I say this now 1 year later. Last year we decided to press pause on our coaching programs. The reason I did this is because I was just in a phase where I was like, okay, is coaching the thing I need to be doing? I knew my clients were happy, but I had done the same program 5 times in a row. And before that, the predecessor I did 4 times. So after 9 times, I was like, I think I need a moment to figure out if this is still what I need to be doing. And I started feeling like we needed to focus on the funnels as well. I wanted to build in some stability in my business, and I wanted to change some things in my program. And me and my team, we were so caught up in the business that we felt like, okay, we need to land the plane if we want to build a new plane. So we said, okay, we're going to pause the live coaching programs. We're going to work on the funnels. We did that and it worked. We started generating a couple of 10,000 a month in passive income, but in booked sales. And the thing that I definitely underestimated there was the cash flow piece, is that I am running ads, the funnels are working, but it's almost a break even situation in terms of cash flow. So in the long run, this is going to benefit me, which is actually the third question you need to ask yourself. Like, are you doing it for right now or longevity? Obviously, the longevity, let's do both. But for me, um, being in a situation that I am in my current business with a growing team, with a changing economy, the best thing for me to do is just both. But a year ago, we just couldn't do both. So do I regret landing one plane so I could build a new plane? I didn't know a year ago what I know now. If I have the space, for example, in my second business now, I'm running a live launch. And then I know it's going to be really difficult for me to prioritize working on the funnels, but I'm going to make myself, because I know how important it is to have both in place. But if you are currently making your decision based on workload, yeah, you'll save a little bit of work with an evergreen launch, but I think that the cash flow definitely benefits it. I would always advise people to start with the live launches. That's what I would say. Unless maybe your brand can't carry it, or you really, really don't want to do any live launches in your thing. But I mean, I don't see how that would work. I'm looking at Megan. Megan is sitting on the floor of my office. I have thought about it that I should record podcast episodes without my team in the room, but if you go and watch on YouTube, you can see that we're recording in my office for the first time. It's really pretty, but it also means that you can see the chairs in my office in the background. And now Megan is sitting on. Megan is our copywriter. She's doing an amazing job.
I'm very comfortable.
She's very comfortable. She's not unsafe. um, but so I think what we want to say here is, don't underestimate that funnels also require work. You will have to record the webinar, you will have to write the emails. Just don't underestimate it for it to actually work. And just test your conversions is what I would say. Do it live, do it evergreen. Like, I will record a webinar live with an audience, a second time with an audience, and then I'll record it fully, like create it for evergreen, and then I'll split test it to see which one has a higher conversion. And from there, I can go and make my decisions. Which brings me to the third point that I was making, is actually just the longevity. Launching has a really big impact right now. If you want money now, if you want clients now, go and launch. If you want to make sure that in a year from now, while you are, I know, for example, for me, maybe having a baby and stuff like that, there's also money coming in, not just from payment plans, but from like new sales, then you are going to need the funnels. You just can't not. So that brings us to the final point, actually, is the phase of your business will also determine where you are at. If you're in the starting phase, we all know that you cannot do everything at the same time. So I would say if you're starting, it probably makes sense that you start with live launches, because you can get live feedback, so many eyeballs on your products. You can create a sub brand of your products. That's what I did for all of my products. But if you then enter a growing phase, yeah, you're going to have to make sure that you have funnels. But there is still a difference, by the way, between having funnels created to convert, or just being good at selling your products just like that because people just get into your shop, which can also happen. The stronger your brand is, the better your reputation is, the more people love what you do, the easier it is to get more sales from different spots. I just like to diversify my risk. So for me, what's important is having live launches planned in so I can prep for them, then I will make sure that I have payment plans from those live launches. So that creates both big cash injections throughout my year as well as payment plans to make the other ones comfortable. And then I want consistent leads in my business that fill my funnels so I can get new sales from there as well. And for all of that, obviously, you need targets and you need to calculate backwards, like, what do you need? And I definitely made a lot of mistakes in that. I have learned so much about launching and the payment plans and how to plan for it, and made so many mistakes. And at the same time, especially in the past year, if I look back, I was on the phone with my brother actually yesterday, and he's like, "Yeah, so how's it going?" Because he saw a video of me where I said I made 5 million in sales in the past couple of years. He's like, "Yeah, Amy," he always calls me Amy. He's like, "Hey, I saw your 5 milli video," and I thought I was like, yeah. I mean, and I told him like, yeah, that's what I've made over the past couple of years. Obviously, I also have stuff I'm building and I need to invest in that. Um, and I told him like, yeah, this year I actually made quite a lot of mistakes in my strategy, like when I planned in what I prioritized. But then I told him, I'm like, yeah, but if I wouldn't have made those mistakes, if I wouldn't have landed the plane to build the other plane, I also wouldn't have learned how I can now prioritize both live launches and funnels at the same time. I wouldn't have learned how to handle the payment plans, how to work with subscriptions or not, and bonuses, and build even better funnels. So I think if you look at all of this, I would say just start, but don't overcomplicate passive income. If you aren't planning on doing the investment parts, like I have nothing to say about that. The only thing I would say is if you're investing money, and don't take financial advice from me, by the way, you do you. Um, if you are investing money, always be prepared to lose that money. That's what I do when I invest money. I'm just always prepared to lose the money. Don't invest money that you can't afford to lose. That's just like number one tip I would give you there. There are many other tips, and obviously that's not the full picture, but this is not an episode about that. But if you're talking you wanting to make online passive income from an online business, I would say, just like I would say about ads, like first is if your content is working organically, then run ads on that content. I would say start with live launching and then turn it evergreen into passive funnels. Luckily, you don't have to make the mistakes I made. And during the time that I landed the plane so I could build the other plane, I've had a lot of time to think about everything I've learned about launching. And throughout the years, while launching for over 5 million, I have definitely learned a couple of do's and don'ts, and I've uncovered 5 secrets that can really triple your launch results. So if you're planning on getting started, I would say don't start from scratch. Don't start with the right information. I'll go and check out some of my other episodes on launching, but also make sure you go and access my training about the 5 secrets to triple your launch results, because it is simpler than you think, but there are just a couple of mistakes you should really avoid making. Luckily, I made them so you don't have to. If you want to access my training, you can access it through fastforwardamy.com/5 launch secrets. That's 5, the number 5, and then launch secrets. And there you will see a sign up registration form, so you can go and watch that webinar. And I look forward to seeing you there. It's going to be really amazing. And you're going to walk out of that with so much more knowledge than you have right now, because you probably have never thought about the things that I'm going to explain to you in that training. So pencil it in your calendar, go to the link fastforwardamy.com/5 launch secrets. I've also linked it in the description of this episode. Let's start from there, and then let's see how we can turn that launch magic into passive income magic, and then you can go and invest the money you've made, okay? Good luck, have a happy day, and see you next week for another episode.